We got some great news to get to on Rashee Rice here on this edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Rashee Rice looking to make his return to the football field in 2025. We got a big update, as we'll let you hear directly from Chiefs head coach Andy Reid, coming up in just a matter of moments. Before we do, I got a goal for the kingdom that I want to reach before the 2025 NFL Draft, which is just less than a month away. Can we get to 70.5 thousand subscribers on the channel? We're just 369 away from reaching that next milestone. We're talking draft, free agency, trades, and more here on the channel, in addition to our breaking news, Q&A mailbags. We got it all right here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Make sure all your friends subscribe as well, and we'll get started with today's program. We begin with the latest on Rashee Rice. It has been a while since we've seen Rashee Rice step onto the football field after he suffered a season-ending injury in Week 4 of the 2024 NFL season. And now we await for his return to 2025, and there's a lot of questions about Rashee Rice entering this upcoming season. Andy Reid gave an answer to one of those questions in an interview with the Kansas City Star at the NFL owners meetings this week. He was asked about Rashee Rice's status, and he said he's on track to be ready for camp. We'll see. He's working his tail off right now, I know. This is big for the Kansas City Chiefs to potentially have Rashee Rice back. And we know that he had a very good rookie season in 2023. But prior to the injury in 2024, Rice was just starting to come into his own and was putting up some fantastic statistics, was a key piece to this Chiefs offense. And now you look at just where Rashee Rice is at. If he can get healthy and pick up from where he left off prior to the injury, then you're talking about a legitimate playmaker that's got a bright future for many years to come. Here's what you need to know on Rashee Rice. He suffered that LCL injury back in Week 4 against the Chargers. He then went through reconstructive surgery as the injury was worse than initially thought when he suffered it there Week 4. And prior to the injury, when we talk about the production of what he was doing, he had 2 100-yard-plus receiving games in 2024 prior to the injury. It was a heck of a start to the season, and he was on quite the pace. And right now he is going through blood flow reconstriction, BFR training at this point in time. I'll be honest, I'm not a doctor. I don't know exactly what all that means, but he is going through a process. And for those that are worried about could this lead to him being injury-prone, it is the first significant injury of Rice's career. So hopefully this is not going to be a lingering problem where other things come up. Remember, it was a freak accident. Patrick Mahomes ran into him, causing the injury. And hopefully things move forward from here. Rashee Rice was asked recently about his injury recovery, and he said this: "I didn't realize how bad it was until the MRI. I always see myself as tough, just as tough as any wide receiver can be. When it happened, I figured I was just banged up and would sit out for a play or two. But the pain hit me when I started walking. I thought I could shake it off, but this time I couldn't get back out there. I admit I compared myself to them sometimes, but ultimately all I wanted to do was play football. I didn't dwell on the injury. I focused on getting better. The knee is doing great. I've focused on mobility and balancing, incorporating kettlebells and lighter weights for squats. I didn't even realize that I was enhancing my range of motion." So, do you think Rashee Rice can come back and be the same player? Do you believe in Rashee Rice? It's our pinned comment today. You got 2 options here. Type B for believe, D for don't. Chime in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Rashee Rice had a great rookie season as he set the NFL record for the most postseason catches by a rookie with 26, and he was a pivotal part of this offense. He was the Chiefs' second leading receiver in 2023, just behind Travis Kelce, and had the most yards for any of the true wide receivers, helping the Chiefs win a Super Bowl title there in his rookie campaign. And I look at it this way. If Rashee Rice can clear all the hurdles ahead of him, and there's another hurdle that we'll talk about that's besides the injury. You guys know what I'm talking about. More on that in a bit. If he can get through all those things, then I think Rashee Rice can be a top 10 receiver in this league and a true wide receiver one. And for as much as we've talked about the wide receiver position lacking and needing some help here in Kansas City, if he is checking off all the boxes, he can be exactly what this team is looking for. You look at the statistics of what Rashee Rice has done in his first two seasons. Nearly 1,000 yards as a rookie with 7 touchdowns. Was on quite the pace in 2024 prior to the injury with 24 total catches, 288 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And Albert Breer of the Sports Illustrated Monday Morning QB gave some perspective on what's going on with Rashee Rice. He said this recently. I know they're optimistic that the vision they had for the offense this year can come together, and I think you started to see glimpses of it at the end of the year and into the playoffs. Like no one's going to remember it anymore because of the Super Bowl, but like I do think there were elements of what they were hoping they could be in the summer that were coming together. And the whole idea was we had Hollywood on one side, we had Xavier Worthy on the other, and we have them pulling, like stretching the defense vertically, and then we have Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce running on open space underneath. This is a game changer if Rashee Rice is a part of this offense. He's exactly what they need for the reasons that Albert Breer laid out there of what you can do to get creative with the offense and have different threats in different spots doing different things. And 3 receivers, along with Kelce in that mix, Noah Gray, that all complement each other in that way and allow you to attack opposing defenses in a multitude of ways. Of the receivers, who will be the Chiefs' leading receiver in 2024? Will it be Rashee Rice? Will it be Xavier Worthy? Or will it be Hollywood Brown? Type RR for Rashee Rice, type XW for Xavier Worthy, type HB for Hollywood Brown. Get your predictions in now of who you think that leading receiver will be. Got a great deal for Chiefs fans. We got polos on sale now for up to 50% off. Chatsports.com/Chiefs Polos is where you can get yours today. Got the gray, got the red, got the striped version, all at that same link, chatsports.com/Chiefs Polos. We also have other polos besides the ones you're seeing on your screen right now, as well as additional Chiefs merchandise at that same link. Go check it out. See for yourself right now. Chatsports.com/Chiefs Polos to get yours today. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. That's chatsports.com/Chiefs Polos to get yours now. Now the other element. You know it was coming. We have to talk about it. I know we don't want to talk about it, but we do have to touch on it. Will Rashee Rice be suspended after the events that occurred last offseason in Dallas? And obviously, he did not face any punishments this past season. The NFL has continued an ongoing investigation, and there is expected to be an early July timeline for Rashee Rice's trial. And I was doing some digging on this, and his attorney is a state senator. And there is some speculation that because of that he could actually get a favorable ruling or verdict in this said trial with who he's assembled with his legal team. Not to mention being an NFL receiver and all that certainly doesn't hurt on that front in the legal process. And one thing that has changed of how the NFL goes about their business, we saw for a number of years where the NFL made mistakes where they were too quick to judge, too quick to judgment with the decisions that they made when it came to suspensions, where they did not let the legal process play out, and they regretted their decisions later on. Now, what's different, the NFL with Roger Goodell and company, they have changed their approach to these situations where the NFL now instead waits on the legal process to play itself out before there is a suspension, which is a big reason why ultimately he did not get punished last season. According to reports, there is a feeling within inside the Chiefs organization that because Rashee Rice is a first-time offender here, that any suspension that he would receive from the NFL is likely to be minimal. That it is not expected to be a large suspension if he receives one at all. So that's very good news. And one thing I would think about, just as an example here, and it's going to be an interesting timeline with a July trial to see how quickly the NFL then wraps up their investigation. But let's just say, for all intents and purposes here, if they do decide to suspend him by the start of the season, what essentially the Chiefs could treat that as is, let's say it's 3-4 games. That's like starting on the PUP list, essentially. And he doesn't count against the 53-man roster either. So if I'm the Kansas City Chiefs, I'm pushing the NFL to get this wrapped up pretty quickly after the trial. That way you know when you're going to have Rashee Rice. And if that ends up playing to their benefit, where he's suspended for at the beginning of the season, you use that time for a little extra recovery, and then he comes back at full strength and gives him a little extra time to make sure he's fully capable and ready to go. That could work itself out for Kansas City in that sense. Should the NFL even suspend Rashee Rice? Based on the information we know, what do you guys think? Type Y for yes, N for no. Way in the comments section, tell me what you think. For continuing Chiefs coverage, subscribe now to the Kansas City Chiefs Report, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.